Have you ever had a moment where you looked at yourself, your work, your relationships, your achievements, and thought, I'm just not good enough? Maybe you didn't say it out loud. Maybe you didn't even fully admit it to yourself. But the feeling was there, quietly shaping your choices, your confidence, and the way you show up in the world. It's a strange thing, isn't it? How you can be capable, intelligent, caring, hardworking, and still feel like you're falling short. Still feel like you're behind. Still feel like you're not measuring up to some invisible standard. Today, we're diving into the psychology behind that feeling, where it comes from, why it sticks, and how to loosen its grip, so you can finally see yourself with more clarity and compassion. Let's start with a simple question. When did you first start feeling not good enough? Not the exact moment, but the earliest memory you have of comparing yourself, doubting yourself, or shrinking yourself. Because that feeling didn't come from nowhere. Most people don't wake up one day and suddenly feel inadequate. It's something that builds slowly, shaped by experiences, environments, and expectations. Maybe you grew up in a home where praise was rare, but criticism was common. Maybe you were compared to siblings, classmates, or cousins. Maybe you learned early on that love or approval had conditions, that you had to earn it by being perfect, quiet, helpful, successful, or strong. Or maybe you were the responsible one, the smart one, the talented one, and the pressure to maintain that identity became overwhelming. Ask yourself, what messages did I learn about myself growing up, and who taught me to believe them? There's a psychological reason why feelings of inadequacy stick so tightly. The brain is wired to remember negative experiences more vividly than positive ones. It's a survival mechanism. The brain wants to protect you from future harm. So one harsh comment can outweigh 10 compliments. One failure can overshadow years of progress. One embarrassing moment can replay louder than all your successes. This is called negativity bias, and it makes not good enough feel more real than I'm doing okay. Ask yourself, do I judge myself based on isolated moments rather than the full picture? We live in a world where comparison is constant. Social media shows everyone's highlights. Schools rank performance. Workplaces measure productivity. Society celebrates achievement more loudly than effort. So it's easy to look around and think, they're doing better than me. They're more confident than me. They're further ahead than me. But here's the truth. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's edited highlight reel. Ask yourself, who am I comparing myself to? And is that comparison fair? Many people who feel not good enough are actually perfectionists. Not the kind who want everything spotless or organized, but the kind who set impossibly high standards for themselves. Perfectionism says, if it's not perfect, it doesn't count. If I make one mistake, I've failed. If I can't do it flawlessly, I shouldn't do it at all. The problem is that perfection is a moving target. No matter how much you achieve, the bar keeps rising. Ask yourself, do I allow myself to be human, or do I expect myself to be flawless? Sometimes the feeling of not good enough isn't about the present at all. It's about the past. Maybe someone made you feel small. Maybe someone dismissed your feelings. Maybe someone told you, directly or indirectly, that you weren't enough. Even if you don't consciously think about those moments, your emotional memory does. So when something triggers that old wound, a mistake, a rejection, a criticism, your brain reacts as if you're reliving the past. Ask yourself, is my reaction about this moment, or is it echoing something older? Everyone has an inner critic, that voice that says, you should be doing more. You're not trying hard enough. You're not as good as them. You're going to mess this up. But here's the important part. That voice isn't your true self. It's a collection of messages you absorbed from other people, parents, teachers, peers, society. Your inner critic is loud, but it's not accurate. Ask yourself, whose voice does my inner critic sound like? This is the turning point. Feelings are not facts. They're signals, information, shaped by experiences, beliefs, and interpretations. You can feel inadequate and still be capable. You can feel behind and still be growing. You can feel unworthy and still deserve love, respect, and belonging. The feeling is real, but the conclusion you draw from it doesn't have to be. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that contradicts the belief that I'm not enough? Many people believe they have to earn their worth through achievements, productivity, approval, success, being needed, being perfect. But worth isn't something you earn, it's something you already have. You don't become enough by doing more. You become enough by recognizing what was always true. Ask yourself, what would change if I believed I was already enough? You don't have to silence the inner critic overnight. You don't have to erase every insecurity. You don't have to suddenly feel confident all the time. Healing begins with awareness, noticing the patterns, questioning the beliefs, and gently challenging the stories you've carried for years. It's about replacing "I'm not good enough" with "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm human, I'm trying, I'm worthy," not because you've earned it, but because you exist. If you've ever felt not good enough, you're not alone. It's one of the most universal human experiences. But here's the truth. You are more capable, more resilient, more valuable, and more deserving than your doubts allow you to see. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone else. You are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And the more you understand the psychology behind that feeling, the easier it becomes to loosen its grip and step into a version of yourself that feels grounded, confident, and whole. Love videos like this? Hit like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And stay curious with us. Conceptique, where complex ideas become beautifully simple.